So today has definitely been a bit of a wheel day, and that's because we've had the new set of wheels come for the Merc, and then we've had the new set of wheels come for the GT Move 4. Now these I have been waiting for nearly 60 days, it could even be longer. These are fully custom made and the custom forged wheels as well. This is pretty much, rhymes with Mossen, let's just say that. So these are pretty much those wheels. However, we've bought these direct and we've paid a hell of a lot less than 10 grand for a set of wheels. And the reason we've done that is, one, I don't want to pay 10 grand. Who wants to pay 10 grand for a set of wheels and then you sell the car and the wheels just sit there, which is something we've done for probably the last 10 years because we've got about 15 sets of wheels sat around. I also wanted a dedicated set where these actually look like a centre lock, but they're not a centre lock. So these actually come off, because obviously these are a 5-stud wheel, but I want this to look like a centre lock, like a GT3, GT4 RS would do. And these are seriously good quality, and I'm pretty much going to put money on that this will not fade like a real one would as well. So I might have actually got a slightly better set of wheels. Now, as I said, these were custom made. I've had them measured to what I want them to be on the car, but we might have cocked up. Because if you look from the front of the car, these protrude quite a bit, and I'm not sure that my calculations have been that great. Now, the issue is the tyres haven't arrived yet, so we can't fit them to the wheels, and then we can't drop it to the floor and actually see if my camber, because this car's been fully set up and aligned, like ridiculously expensive, but to the nine, where the wheel actually does go under. And I'm hoping that's what happens. Now, these are 8.5J on the front. That's what we've already got on. So we're going to be taking the tyres off the current wheels to put them onto these wheels to basically, hopefully get the same fitment. The way I've measured it is I've measured this based on those wheels with a 8 or 10 mil spacer. And the reason I've done that is because when I put those wheels on with spacers, they didn't fit particularly well, and that's because they weren't hub-centric spacers and there was a bit of wheel wobble and I just weren't happy with it. However, on the rear, we don't have that problem, because on the rear, we had hub-centric spacers. But again, I don't want wheels with spacers. So what we've done is we've basically had these machined to the ET that we need in order to match the wheel spacers. Again, this wheel sticks out a little bit. However, we've done some fancy maths with a piece of card, and we put the card here and worked out the gap difference, and it is actually bigger on the other side. So the other wheel currently does stick out a little bit more than this. So I think this is just the way it looks and me being a little bit paranoid that it's not going to fit, where actually I kind of hope it does. The next set of wheels we've got is the Radiate, which I've gone for. Now, this is because I weren't particularly sure what type of wheel to fit on the Mercedes. It's a bit of an oddball. Like, it's not a supercar, it's a sports car, I don't know. Like, it's quite classy, which meant the wheels I would generally choose would not work on this car. And I just thought something with quite a big flat face might actually suit more. If they don't, it's just tough, because what I've also got these for is this is for the Nürburgring Challenge, and I wanted a good set of tyres all round. I needed wider tyres, so we've actually gone with 245 on the rear, 225 on the front, but on the same 8.5J wheel. But these actually fit pretty square. They're really good. So these are fitted up very much like a race tyre, where it is squared. And these are Bridgestone Potenza S001s. So these aren't the best in wet, but they're really, really good in dry. And that's because we're going to be going to the Nürburgring, we're going to be going on the Autobahn, and we just want to make sure this car's got some really good grip for that. And again, a matching set of tyres might not make any difference, but in my head, I want a matching set of branded tyres. I don't want mismatches on them. So that's why we've gone with this particular set. So we're about to get these on the car itself and actually see what they align like. And then the tyres are on the way now for this. They should be delivered in the next hour. We can get the tyres fitted, and hopefully I've not wasted £600 on a new set of rear tyres, plus fitting costs, plus £2,000 for a set of wheels that aren't going to fit. So let's see how we get on. Right, so after the day we've had, where the Mercedes wheels didn't fit, £1,000 down the pan, and a car that could have looked really cool doesn't look cool, it now looks shit. Radiator failing on, can you just pass me that wheel down? Radiator failing on the Alpha. Hopefully this rad seal works. I've waited 60, 70 days for these wheels to come, which are custom made, and I'm not convinced they're actually going to fit because they look excessively wide. So it's like I've got the ET completely wrong, which is possible. I'm pretty sure I haven't, but when I fit them to the car, I'm generally not convinced at all that they're actually right, which is worrying. So the only way we're going to be able to tell is by putting the wheels on the car, dropping it down on the ramp and hoping that the camber tucks the wheel in the right way. Now, I've got a feeling when I first had wheel spacers on this car, it actually wasn't lowered. And that might be why I've got it wrong. So what I think is when I lowered this car, I didn't have any wheel spacers on because it just didn't drive right. I couldn't get the wheels to balance properly, I think, because there weren't hub-centric spacers. And what I mean by hub-centric spacers is they actually fit to the wheel hub and the balance properly. They were just 10 mils, which is like a universal. And I've got a strong feeling that I took them off because it had a bit of wobble. So I've got a strong feeling that when I actually had this car lowered, we didn't have the wheel spacers on, and that's because the wheel spacers themselves made the car wobble because they weren't hub-centric. So I've got a really strong feeling that's why I didn't have spacers on, and now I'm starting to wonder if it's actually going to fit at all, because I've basically based this fitment on having wheel spacers, but like I said before, we actually lowered the car. So this is the proof in the pudding, I suppose. Let's get these wheels on and then get the car on the ramp and actually see if it's going to work or not. So the wheels are on, and I've got to be honest, no, I'm not. I'm not as convinced as I keep thinking. I think I'm convincing myself they're going to be all right. They actually look better now the car's lower. It doesn't look like it protrudes so much, but the only way we're actually going to be able to tell if these fit, oh God, I think, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that these actually are going to work. How well, I don't know. Are we going to get any rubbing? I don't know. But let's just hope, because to be honest, the days I've had, the last 2 days have been hell. I've cocked up some PPF that's cost me a few £100. We've got a Merc that we can't fit wheels on, and this is the last thing that I want, especially after spending £600 and getting the tyres cheap just for new rear tyres, because we've had to go to a much bigger size. So I guess this is the moment of truth, I suppose. Okay, well, the new blocks don't withstand any tyres going on them, because that's just shit itself straight away. That's not a good thing. But I think we fit. I actually think we fit. I can't believe the new blocks just shit itself straight away. They are shite. I think we fit. Oh no, I don't. That could. Let's get it off the ramp. And the only way we can get this off the ramp is actually by putting the blocks in front of it as well, because this car is so fucking low, it actually takes the side skirt out when it comes out. So what I need to remember is to always use these blocks in order to get the best fitment for the car, because otherwise it will not go down.
Look, you know it's ours.
Say it loud, no doubt. Say it loud, no doubt. I'm the main, can't dim my flame frame. Whole place, change when I walk in the frame. Eyes on me, I don't do maybe. Main character energy, yeah, that's daily. Click, flash, pose, I glow. Big top, sit down, I run the show. I'm calling the chaos,
I think it fits. I do think it fits. Now, that didn't rub at all on lock of any kind, so I am generally convinced that they're actually going to work. This block clearly didn't, and it just pooed itself, so that can go in the bin, and we'll replace that one because they're absolutely shite. That did not hold at all. What a load of shit. But let's talk them up. Let's get these wheels talked up. Because I've got a strong feeling that actually these fit. Now, I've had a really shit week. Everything's been against me. Nothing's really worked out, and everything's cost me a fortune because of it. And do you know what? The Porsche has not let me down. Again, this car has just been everything for me for the last year, just over a year I think it is now. And this car, there's everything we have done on this car has just been made it amazing, and it's such a good car, and the wheels fit. I honestly don't think you could have got a better fitment. I was really nervous. I didn't think they were going to work. I'm going to show you now on camera exactly what they look like. But truthfully, I don't think you could get a flusher, better fit if you tried.